Dragon Ball Legends 5th anniversary is almost here. We just got our trailer and release date confirmed to be on May 27th. As we approach one of the biggest celebrations of the year, what can we expect in terms of characters for this upcoming anniversary? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's go. Before we hop into the actual characters that I think are going to be coming, we did get this producer message just yesterday on just like some teaser stuff before the anniversary, like some campaign info and stuff like that. And they did drop the trailer, a trailer for this campaign here. So as we can see, they dropped a trailer and it's a pretty interesting trailer because they reveal some stuff that is kind of interesting. So let's play it here. So it starts off with some gameplay of the tag Z Bros, which is, I guess, makes sense. You know, we just ended off the MajinBlue Saga campaign. They're the main LF, so it makes sense. And then if we skip over here, we get the tag 4s. Now, when the tag 4s popped up, I was kind of confused because why are they showing the tag 4s? Are they just going to show all the tags? But they didn't tag units, but they didn't show all the tag units. They just showed, you know, the tag 4s doing their LF on Omega Shenron, which is nice. And then they showed Ultra Gogeta Blue. So pretty weird lineup of characters. Like, it's pretty weird. And you know, a lot of people have been saying, and they've been saying that this probably is hinting towards what the theme of the anniversary is going to be. Now, obviously, like the last Legends Festival and the previous anniversary, the 4th anniversary, they switched it over to a format where we have 3 parts. First part is a regular LF banner with 1% sparking. Second is a regular LF banner with the 1% sparking. And then the part 3 is an Ultra. And that's kind of what they showed, right? They showed 2 LFs and an Ultra. And then if we continue playing this for a bit here, then there's a gameplay of MUI Goku, 4th Annie. This could also lead to something. And then after that, they have they confirm the date, which is May 27th. There's the reveals and stuff. And then they show all the Ultras, right? Up until Kid Buu, starting from USV. So it's a pretty interesting trailer. Now, like I said, it could mean that they're hinting towards the theme, right? So this could be, part 1 can be Z related, Dragon Ball Z related. Part 2 can be Dragon Ball GT. And then part 3 can be Super, right? And it would make perfect sense, right? Even for previous anniversaries, like 2nd anniversary, we had DBS versus Dragon Ball GT. 3rd anniversary, we had all 3, right? We had G4 from GT, Zamasu from Super, and then Revival Gohan from Z, right? And then last year, we didn't get any GT related stuff, but we did get a movies unit, which they seem to be dropping those for every anniversary. Well, actually, now that I think about it, it was only for the last 2 anniversaries. But I do think we're probably going to be getting a movies buff as well for this anniversary. I'm going to be talking about what unit I think is going to be coming, because realistically speaking, there's really only one, I think, unit that's worthy of being anniversary level in terms of LF. And then part 3, we're definitely going to be getting an Ultra at some point during this anniversary, and we're going to be talking about who the Ultra is going to be. So yeah, this trailer, like I said, it could hint towards the team. It could be just random. I highly doubt it's random, because why would they just pick these 3 units, right? But we'll just have to wait and see what that ends up being. So let's hop into what I think could be the 1st anniversary LF. So the first unit, obviously, this is what basically everyone is speculating about, and it's going to be Goku and Frieza from the Tournament of Power, specifically the final moment of the Tournament of Power, and pretty much the climax of the tournament, and just basically the ending of the Dragon Ball Super anime. This was the last episode 131, and that's how it ended, right? So if you really think about it, like, this is pretty much the only hype moment that we have left from the show, right? If you take a look at it, we have, you know, Super Saiyan Goku, Namek Saga, FSK Gohan, Cell Saga, you know, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Vegito, all that stuff from Buu Saga. Then if you go to Dragon Ball Super, there are certain units that don't have like a specific moment, such as, you know, Super Saiyan God Goku. We don't have an LF version of him, but we do have the unit itself. Kaioken Goku from the Hit versus Hit. We have the unit itself, but we don't have an LF version of them. So it's either we have the unit itself, or we have the straight up just the LF, right? But this unit right here, we don't have the unit itself, and we don't have an LF for it. And this moment is obviously very, very worthy of being an LF unit. The finish they did on Jiren is obviously, like, it's a no-brainer. This is definitely going to be an LF. And even just looking at it, like, this would be such a sick logo for the anniversary, because, you know, most of these headline units, the units picture is on the logo of the anniversary, right? You know, except first anniversary, we didn't have that, but VB was on the second anniversary logo, G4 on third anniversary, and MUI on the fourth anniversary. So just picture this shot right here on the screen. That would look super clean there, and it would make a lot of sense, right? This is really truly the only quote-unquote hype moment. It is a hype moment from the show that we don't have in the game. So I think this is just straight up a no-brainer, and it's most likely gonna be this. Now, one thing that I want to point out, I saw this on Garesh's video that he mentioned, that this unit right here would make a lot of sense if we got all three of these guys. I don't have the official picture here, actually. Right here, this is a nice shot. But, you know, that climax from that tournament really involved all three of these units, right? All of them played a crucial role in taking down Jiren. You know, Goku and Vegeta was distracting Jiren, 17 launched those blasts to hit him, and then they took him down, right? That would be really cool. And he mentioned that, you know, Goku and Frieza are definitely going to be a tag unit, but imagine a tag unit with the assist from 17. That would be actually very cool. And, like, at this point, I wouldn't want it to be anything else, anything other than that. Like, if we're getting this tag Goku and Frieza, I would really, really hope we get the assist from 17, because obviously we haven't seen assist units since the introduction of tag units, because tag units are just a straight up better version of it. But since we're already having the tag mechanic within this unit, an assist from 17 would be just crazy. And imagine their LF, right? You take down your opponent with Goku and Frieza, and the LF win screen is just 17. Like, that would be sick. Because obviously, I don't think they would go with a triple tag unit. Like, they would have to really change up the tag mechanic and make it so it fits in the gameplay and stuff for 3 units to be there. How are you going to switch between all 3? Maybe there could be an icon for which unit you want to switch into. I mean, that would be pretty cool as well. Don't get me wrong. That would be pretty cool. But the one that seems the most plausible would be just, you know, a tag unit with Frieza and Goku with the assist from 17. Like, it's gonna look so clean. And I do think this is gonna be the headlining unit of the anniversary, first part 1. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I do think it's going to follow the same format as the previous anniversary and the previous Legends Festival, where there's 3 parts. Now, there are talks of it being a different sort of format, where it could be potentially 2 ultras. And we'll talk a bit more about that once we get to who I think the ultra is going to be. But for now, let's move on to part 2. And for part 2, I think there's 2 options here. I'll start off with one of the first ones, Universal Spare Bomb Goku. Now, this unit is obviously a unit we don't have. We don't have an LF or a sparking version of him, or just a regular version of him. So that really clears the criteria of it not being in the game, right? And this is pretty much one of the few units that I think can be in an anniversary as an LF, right? Because when you really think about it, do you really want to see any of the villains, you know, Super 17 Baby, Omega Shenron, do you really want to see any of those units as the LF unit for an anniversary? It's probably going to be no, right? I see them more as monthly LFs, like off celebrations, not during celebrations. And then this unit, although I don't know if many people are a fan of this unit, I personally think it's a cool moment and all, but it's nothing crazy. I do think since it's pretty iconic at this point, pretty hype, it's like the ending of GT. It was the last battle, the last move that he does in GT, and it wraps up, right? So I think it does deserve some love, and it could definitely be a part 2 unit for the anniversary. But one that I think has a more likely chance of appearing, the only reason I even tossed this here was because of the trailer that we got. We got a GT unit, right? So that kind of hinted towards a GT unit, presumably. But what I think has a higher chance of happening is Orange Piccolo. Obviously, this is a unit that we don't have in the game, and I'm pretty sure you guys already saw my concept video that I made of LF Orange Piccolo, and in that, it was pretty hard trying to find an LF for this unit because he doesn't really have a finisher, right? You know, Beast One has a special beam cannon. That was a perfect move for the LF, but Piccolo doesn't really have that because once he turned Orange Piccolo, you know, Gamma 2 basically surrendered at that point. He fought Cell Max, but his attacks weren't really having that much effect on him. So it's kind of hard to, it was kind of hard to find an LF for him. Obviously, I think he's going to transform into the Giant for his LF, similarly to, Grade 8 Vegeta. But then what is he going to do as an attack? I just tossed in the Special Beam Cannon because, he probably was going to have that in his moveset, but I really couldn't think of really an LF to give him. He would fit more as an Ultra unit, not gonna lie, just because he would have a really sick intro and he doesn't really need a finisher. He just needs, an ultimate and stuff like that. But if they want to drop him in the anniversary, he has to be an LF because, he could be the Ultra, but we all know who's gonna be the Ultra, right? But yeah, Orange Piccolo is a unit that we definitely have to see. Many people think he's gonna maybe be a bait banner for Legends Festival again, similarly to Beast Gohan. But I think if he drops, then it'll be a perfect time to return Beast Gohan, right? Since he's never came back. And one thing that I've seen somewhere, I don't remember where I saw this from, but when Part 2 rolls around, which is around mid-June, it's actually going to also be the 1-year anniversary of the release of Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, right? And they can easily tie that in with the anniversary celebration, and that would be a perfect moment, first anniversary, 5th anniversary of Legends, that would be a perfect moment to drop Orange Piccolo, the only unit that's left from the movie, because I doubt we're going to see Cell Max. And just imagine the 1% sparking. Like, imagine they give a tag Gamma 1 and 2 as a 1% sparking. Although I think they would probably save that for an LF, since, Gamma 2 has that iconic finish there in the movie. But yeah, honestly, it just fits perfectly within the release schedule of Part 2, and I can easily see him being the LF for Part 2. So that's gonna be pretty much, like, other than that, I can't really think of any other LFs. Like I mentioned, Kaioken Goku versus Hid, we don't have an LF. Kaioken Goku versus Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga, we don't have an LF for that. That's actually could be an interesting one too. What else? Super Gogeta doesn't have an LF. We have an Ultra, but we don't have an LF from him. So that can also be one. I'm just trying to think of some of the movie characters. And honestly, like, other than we don't have an LF Z Broly. That could be really cool. But other than that, I can't really think of another one that's hype enough to basically be in the anniversary, because other than that, we don't care about Turtles. We don't care about... Cooler, we have an LF Cooler, so we don't care about that. It's really just, Super Gogeta, Orange Piccolo, Z Broly. Those are really the only ones left for us to get as an LF. So, and if we think about, like, the actual series, like in Z, like I said, Kaioken Goku, Final Flash Vegeta, we don't have. IT Goku from the Cell Saga, we don't have. But do you really want to see that as an anniversary unit? Maybe you'd want to. But I think those are more fit for a monthly LF banner, right? And Orange Piccolo just is hype enough, and he fits the criteria. So that's what I think is going to be the LFs for this anniversary. Now we move on to the unit that you should all be using your Chrono Crystals on, regardless of what team you use, whatever. Even if you don't like this unit, you have to summon for this unit. The Ultra for Part 3 is going to be, you guessed it, Vegito Blue. I think this is the unit that everyone 100% agrees that is going to drop for this anniversary. It just makes the most sense, right? You can't go an anniversary without some sort of Vegito. Super Vegito 1st anniversary, Vegito Blue 2nd anniversary, Purple VB 3rd anniversary, and Ultra Super Vegito 4th anniversary. You can't go an anniversary without some sort of Vegito. And Vegito Blue just fits. It just fits, right? It fits the pattern. We had Ultra Super Gogeta for Legends Festival 2021 as the first ever Ultra summonable unit. Fast forward 6 months, we got Ultra Super Vegito as the anniversary Ultra. Fast forward another 6 months, we got Ultra Gogeta Blue as the Ultra for Legends Festival 2022. It only makes sense for us to get the blue counterpart to Gogeta Blue, which is Vegito Blue. I would be shocked if we don't get this guy as the anniversary unit, but there are, like I mentioned in the beginning, there are some people speculating that we could potentially get a double Ultra. And if they were to do a double Ultra, I don't see them dropping a hype Ultra alongside this Vegito Blue. Now, there has been a lot of talks about, FSK, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, maybe not FSK, but Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as the Ultra for Anniversary. And obviously, you know, iconic intro, one of the most iconic transformations of all time. This would fit the criteria. I think Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is hype enough to headline, or I guess be the Ultra for an anniversary or even Legends Festival. I do think he has that hype factor to him. People will summon, he will perform well in terms of revenue. But if we were to think about double Ultras, do you really think they're gonna drop Vegito Blue and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, two of the most hype characters they still need to drop as an Ultra, both in the same celebration? That would make zero sense for them revenue-wise, because if you're dropping these two, you want, as a fan of this game, as a player of this game, you want to have both of them, and you want to go get these units high stars. Because let me tell you, obviously everyone knows Ultra units are the top of the game. They're ruling the game. Top 4 units in the game by a landslide are the 4 new Ultras, and you want to just summon full on these banners. And if you have to pick between these two, it's a tough choice. But if you space them out in between releases, let's say Vegito Blue for Anniversary and Gohan for Legends Festival, then people would be more willing to spend more money on them, because they have to only focus on one unit, and they can just fully dedicate their CC to something for that unit, right? It just wouldn't make sense for them to drop both of them at the same time when they can just space them out and make even more money, right? It just makes no sense. But if they were to make a unit to drop alongside this Vegito as a double Ultra, the only one that comes to mind is Merge Zamasu, just because it is a unit. It's a character, obviously, that he fought Vegito Blue, but it would make perfect sense because, you know, Merge Zamasu is a unit that deserves an Ultra, right? He would have a pretty sick intro, them fusing and stuff like that, and it would be a pretty good counterpart to Vegito Blue since they both fought. But actually, now that I think about it, there will be both future units, so future mains are going to be struggling hard. I mean, obviously everyone's going to summon for Vegito Blue regardless of who the other unit is, but if they were to drop a double Ultra, they can't drop them simultaneously. I've been thinking about it. They just can't drop it simultaneously. It would make no sense. They would have to drop the first Ultra like part 1 maybe, and then drop the third one part 3. Or if they just completely change their whole format, they can somehow fit it, but I just don't see it. I truly think they're going to stick to this 3 format system, and we'll probably just get one Ultra. I think that's what's going to happen. It's just that they've been dropping Ultras so frequently, like basically every month at this point. It just leads me to believe that they would drop multiple Ultras for its anniversary, since anniversary is going to last like 2 to 3 months, give or take. It starts like end of May and goes up until like mid-July, closing in on end of July. So it spans for 2 months. So you can easily squeeze in 2 Ultras in there, especially at the rate they've been dropping it on just the regular schedule. And we're now currently in one of the biggest celebrations. It would make sense, but it's hard. Like, they have to space it out. They can't drop 2 at the same time. It would just be so hard to summon for these units. Then again, that's the same thing we said about LF units, and they drop dual LFs, and at this point we're getting Ultra. So I don't know. They can really pretty much do anything they want, but that's going to be pretty much what I think is going to be coming for its anniversary. I know a lot of people have this around the same idea, speculation wise. Like, it gets pretty easy to predict what unit is going to drop for its anniversaries. They've been fairly predictable on, like, if you take a look at pretty much all the anniversaries, I'm pretty sure everyone is able to guess each and every one of the anniversary LFs pretty easily. I mean, it's most likely going to be this Goku and Frieza. If it's not, that would make the reveal pretty cool. If it's someone that's actually worked being the headlining anniversary and it's not this Goku and Frieza, then by all means go ahead and shock everyone, surprise everyone. But it's looking like it's really going to be this guy. Part 2 is looking more like a toss-up. It might be Orange Piccolo, it might be Goku, or it could be someone completely different. But I'm leaning more towards Orange Piccolo. And then Ultra, obviously, Vegito Blue, with a slight chance of it being FSK, but I have more, as a higher probability of being Vegito Blue, strictly because his name is Vegito. So definitely drop a comment letting me know who you guys think is going to be coming for this anniversary. If you think it's someone completely different and kind of makes sense, definitely drop a comment. I'm interested to know what you guys have to say. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe because it's so important, so don't forget. Alright, have a great day. See ya.